So we're going to start with MAC's Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and this is just to prime the eyes and just to give the eyeshadow something to stick to. And it doesn't really matter that it's not got any colour, it's just perfect, and it gives the shadow something to stick to and makes the pigment show a lot more. And you can see that that's just taken any redness out of Laura's eyelids. So to get real depth of colour, I'm going to take the NARS and God Created the Woman palette and take the darkest black shade, and that's just going to give a really nice base and a really deep colour to start the smoky eye off with. And I'm just going to use a MAC 239 brush to pack that colour on and lift the eye up so you can get right to the root of the lash. You want to really avoid leaving any gap between the lash line and the colour, and just use a pattern motion just to pack as much colour on as you can. And that's just going to look really harsh at first because you haven't blended the edges out. So what you want to do is you want to take a blending brush. If you're using darker colours, you're probably going to be best using like a tapered brush, and this is the NARS 13 brush. And it's just going to really help blend those edges out so you don't have any harsh lines. And using windscreen wiper motions, just going to help diffuse that colour out a little bit. And really take your time as well when you're blending, because it just makes it look a lot better when it's finished. So what we're going to do is we're going to smoke the black up above Laura's crease, just to give it like a really blown out smoky eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Lorac Pro palette and take the a bit of espresso and a little bit of sable. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get Laura to look forward, place the brush where I want it to smoke, and then get her to close her eyes. And again, backwards and forwards motions, just really blending it out with that black. And if you start losing the intensity on that black, just go back in with the palette and your 239 and just pack a little bit more black onto the lid. So what I always like to do, if I'm doing a really dark smoky eye, I like to give warmth to the edges just so it breaks it up a little bit. So to do that, I take the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Dark, using the same 217 as I've already used. And just where I put that brown colour, I just smoke out the edges. And just really lightly blend it out. And then look straight ahead for me. And you can see the darkness just like diffuses out into a really light brown colour. Because Laura's got a lot going on her eyelid, we want to really highlight the brow bone so it gives a lot of definition to her brow and doesn't make the eyes look too sunken in and just brings them forward a little bit again. So I'm going to take the white from the Lorac Pro palette on a flat, fatly packed crown brush and just go over Laura's brow bone, and it just highlights it and brings more focus onto the eye. By using a fatly packed brush like this, it's going to give you a lot of colour and a lot of pigment payoff as well. So I'm just going to do a quick line of liner just so the lashes look seamless, and to do this I'm just going to use the Inglot eyeliner gel in 77. It's just a really true black eyeliner, and I'm going to use a Mangold Charles Fox eyeliner brush. These are really cheap as well if you ever wanted to pick these up. It's a little shop just outside Covent Garden. I think it's about £3 a brush or something like that.
Have we? Yeah.
For me. And then close.
That blend looks lovely, doesn't it, in your hair? Do you like a reverse ombre? Yeah. Go. Yeah. Lovely, isn't it? I do like it. Just need a bit of colour.
Down to the floor and then towards me, that's it. Just so I can get right in there. And the same, down and towards that way. So we're just going to go in with the base first and we'll put the eyelashes on last. So before I put any base onto Laura's skin, I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of moisturiser on. It'll just help the foundation sit a little bit better onto the skin. So I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enrich Face Base with a MAC 190 brush. Okay, so Laura's going out tonight, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a foundation that's flash ready, so it won't give any flashback when she has a photo taken. So I'm going to use the Makeup Forever HD foundation, and I'm going to mix a little bit of N115 with N125. And I'm going to use a MAC 188 duo fibre brush just to apply that all over the skin. And make sure you always take it down the neck as well, just so it blends in nicely with the skin. Turn your face before, and that's it. And any of the areas that just need a little bit of extra coverage, rather than putting a lot more foundation on, if you just use your brush in a stippling motion like that, it's going to give you a little bit more coverage, rather than applying any more foundation. Just avoids getting like any caked up foundation on your face and looking like you've got too much on. So I'm just going to conceal under Laura's eyes because we want to take away any darkness, because if we leave that there with the smoky eye, it's just going to make her eyes area just look too hollow. So I'm going to use the Select Cover Up Concealer from MAC in NW25. And this is a really high coverage concealer, so you only need the tiniest little bit. And I'm going to take a MAC 195 concealer brush just to pop that on with. And look right up to the ceiling for me. I'm going to do a little bit of contouring, and I'm going to use the Daniel Sandler Sculpt and Slim Effect Contour Powder, and I'm going to go in with the darker shade here with a MAC 109 brush, tap off the excess, and just find the hollows of Laura's cheeks and just nestle the brush in there, and with circular motions just to buff it out. You'll just see that it just gives a lot of definition there. And then the same on the other side, just nestle it in there. And circular motions, just bring it round like that. And you only need a tiny little bit on your brush as well. And when you're contouring, if you look straight ahead for me, Laura, you never want to bring your contour further in than your pupil, because it's going to make your face look too drawn and hollow. And using the same palette, I'm just going to take it along Laura's hairline as well. It just blends it in and brings it all together. So just to give a little bit of life back into Laura's face, because obviously she has got those dark eyes, I'm going to use a highlighter on the tops of the cheekbones, and I'm going to use MAC's Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle on a NARS 6 brush, which is just really, really fluffy.
No, I just don't think it's tough in certain areas.
And again, you never want to go further in than where you've done your contour.
Yeah.
Just on the very highest points of the cheekbone. Okay, so before we put any colour into the cheeks, I'm just going to go and finish Laura's eyes off and put a little bit more shadow on the bottom of the eye, just to bring the whole look together. So I'm going to go back in with Espresso on a really small detailer brush. I'm just going to tap off the excess, and if you just look right up to the ceiling, I'm just going to take that right along the underneath of Laura's eye. Pack on the colour. I'm just going to take dark Mineralized Skin Finish that I used to blend out the eyes, and I'm going to take that brush to just look right up for me, just to blend the edges of that out so it doesn't look harsh and it looks really blown out. Okay, so I'm just going to go into the brows now with a MAC 266 and the Bobbi Brow kit. And I'm just going to take the darkest colour first of all. You can use any angled brow brush that you like. And I'm just going to place it underneath the brow there, just so I can define the brow first.
Are we taking this?
And I'm just going to bring Laura's brows a little bit longer down. And just define that highest point there, so she's got a little bit more of an arch on the brow. And whatever's left on the brush, I'm just going to feather upwards. Now if you're having a smoky eye, you always want to fill your brows in, because obviously you need the balance of the eyebrow and the eye at the same time. Otherwise you're just going to look like you've got too much on your eyes. You need to really balance them out. And then I'm just going to go in with the lighter colour and just feather it through the front, just so it's not as stark at the front. And it just creates a little bit of an ombre brow as well. So I'm just going to set the brows into place using the HD Brows Brow Fix in Vamp, and just brush it through the brows.
You can colour mine in for me.
I'm going to go in with MAC Peaches, which is this one here, and just a crown angled brush.
Two ticks.
So I'm going to go in with some individual lashes, and I'm going to use some medium length ones to the outside of the eye and just some shorter ones into the inside eye, just to give like a fanned out effect. And close.
We'll have to have them in school.
And you can see that that just gives Laura's lashes a lot more volume and makes them look a lot fuller as well. So just by adding a few individual lashes and just packing them on in different varying lengths, it just really opens up Laura's eyes and makes her lashes look a lot thicker. Okay, so we're going to use a really stone coloured lip pencil, because we want to keep the lips quite nude. Obviously we have a smoky eye, we want to keep it quite nude on the lips, because you don't want them battling out for the spotlight on your face. So I'm just going to quickly line the lips with MAC Oak. Do a bit of a Kylie Jenner lip there. And then using MAC Cream Cup, I'm just going to pat it all over Laura's lip. Just going to quickly spray Laura's face with Fix Plus, just so everything stays in place. And that's it, the finished look. A nice, quick, easy, smoky eye, ready for a night out.